Hello, Milford Eagles. Today we are going to start learning about volume. If you could first, if possible, get out your area formula card. Yours might look like this, or maybe yours is on a larger piece of paper. But we want to find the side for volume. And we just want to make sure that we have the formula to find the volume of a rectangular prism. So I wrote it in 3 different ways, but it's the same thing over and over. I can write length times width times height equals volume, or length times width times height equals volume, or I can just write LWH equals V, because that means length times width times height. So we just need to make sure that we know we're using 3 dimensions, length, width, and height. Since we are using 3 dimensions, that means that our answer is going to be to the 3rd power. So for example, right here, if our answer was, 13 inches, if it was volume, it would be to the 3rd power or cubed, because we're using 1, 2, 3 dimensions. That's why area or surface area, if it was a surface area, it would just be squared or to the 2nd power, because we're only using length times width. Or maybe we're using height by base. But there's only ever 2 dimensions for area and surface area, while for volume, it's length times width times height. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started on this page, solid blocks. So find this page. It's probably in lesson 4. And it says that we need 12 cubes. So hopefully your teacher gave you some cubes. I'm going to get some out right here, though. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. The directions just simply state, place 12 cubes on each rectangle. So I have to somehow fit 12 cubes in here. So I'm going to start filling in the base. And then it looks like I'm going to be stacking it. All right, there we go. So first I have to find the height. The height is how tall, or how high up these cubes go. Now it's kind of hard to see in the video, so I'm gonna try to pick these up and show you from the side. Let's see if I can do this. Whoop, whoop, I dropped a few. But the height is 2. Right? It goes up 2. And these are inches, so it's going to be 2 inches. Height is 2 inches. Whoopsie daisy. Now it wants to know the width. Right now we're just calling the width the bottom side edge. How long is this bottom side edge? It's 2. So another 2 inches. And then finally, the bottom front edge, or the length. Well, that's 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 inches. Well, volume equals length times width times height. So what is 2 times 2 times 3? Or 3 times 2 times 2? Or 2 times 3 times 2? We're going to get the same answer because of order of operations. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So the volume of this would be 12 inches cubed. All right, let's move on to rectangle B. We're still using 12 cubes, but we're going to place them now in this rectangle here. Maybe I can save some time and keep these stacked. Ooh, this one's going to get tall. Doop. Nope. Doop. There we go. All right. So now it wants to know my height. You can't really see it again from this angle. Or maybe I can do this. Ooh, look at that. So I know the height is 3. 1, 2, 3, or 3 inches. So I'm going to write 3 inches up here. 3 inches. The bottom side edge is 4. See that? It goes across 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. Then the front edge, right here, is just 1 inch. I'm going to move these away now. So now I'm going to find volume. Volume equals length times width times height. 3 times 4 times 1. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 1 is 12. So 12 inches cubed. All right, we're just moving on. Finally, we have rectangle C. Don't pay attention to this. I'm using an old packet because I don't want to use my current ones, so ignore that page number. So we need to fit 12 in this rectangle. This is going to get a little crazy. There we go. Look at that. All right, so the height. The height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 inches. 6 inches. The width, or the side, is just 1. And the bottom front edge is 2. 1, 2. 2 inches. 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 So now we can finally move these guys away. There we go. So now we have 6 times 1 times 2. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. So volume equals 12 inches cubed, or to the third power. All of our answers are 12. Why? Why are all of our answers 12? Well, we're using 12 cubes. And volume is how much space is filled up in the inside of a figure. So if I wanted to know, for example, let me see. I'm looking around me right now, trying to find something. This. Here. Boom. I have this Kleenex box right here. If I wanted to know the volume of this Kleenex box, I could fill it to see how many of these cubes, these inch cubes, it would take to fill up the whole thing. And I could count the cubes. I could do that. That would take a long time. Or instead, I could just measure the height by the width by the length. Multiply those three numbers, and boom, I'd get my answer. I would know how many of these would fit inside of this box. That's how you can quickly calculate volume. All right, so now let's move on to the page that says practice exercises. Practice exercises. Now, this one makes your brain shift back and forth between volume and surface area. You're going to learn that you really like volume. It's pretty simple, right? Length times width times height. Boom, boom, boom. So let's go ahead and find the volume of this cube right here. Or it's not a cube. No, it's just a rectangular prism. So we know the volume is going to be 6 times 5 times 4. 6 times 5 times 4, because that's length times width times height. 6 times 5 is 30, right? And then 30 times 4, well, what's 30 times 4? We don't have a calculator. We know that that is 120. So 120 doesn't give us any units of measurement, so we just have to put units. This is volume, so cubed. There we go. Now we need to find surface area. This one takes a little bit longer. So let's find the front of this. This is 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Let's find this side. This is 6 times 5, which is 30. Let's find the top. The top is 6 by 4, right, which is 24. So now I'm going to add those numbers up. 3, 5, 6, 7, 74. But this is only 3 of the 6 sides, right? There's this back side here that's also a 30, this back side over here that's also a 20, and this underside that's also a 24. So I need to times everything by 2. That would be 8, and that would be 14. So the surface area is 148 units squared. Now you're going to do the same thing for this practice question right here. Remember, ignore the page number. So first find the volume, length times width times height, and then work it out to find the surface area. You got this. I believe in you. Bye, everyone.